I know my girlfriend is cheating, but I can't confront her. Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you won't miss another cheating story goes live. We have been in a relationship for 8 years and own a house together since a year, no kids, not married. She met this guy at her work, he was building a new office block and they started chatting. Since a couple of months he's been at our house a couple of times for having a game, and we have been at his place, with his wife and 2 kids, to play games. I started having a hunch about 2 months ago. She was often suddenly working late, which is not that uncommon in her job, and she has very irregular hours as well, or working earlier. She also took a day off to go to an amusement park with her best girlfriend and kid. Now, always when that friend is over they make some Instagram posts together, not this time. I did receive pictures of the park, but with nobody on them. That is when my hunches really started nibbling. From that moment I just started writing things down. Whenever she worked later or earlier, what she was going to do on her days off, with what friends she told me, just to have a global idea. Now since the pandemic I work mostly at home, and currently 1 day at the office. The office is not so close, so I am away for 10 hours at least on those days. I just bought a new phone, and had this idea to just put on my home desk and have it record audio. Since I had this feeling that he might come around that day. And yes, when I listened to the recording that night, I was out of the house and within 20 minutes he was there. He lives 40 minutes drive away but has a very flexible job as a general contractor. And damn, the audio was not that clear since it was in a different room, but at one point it was very clear that they were making love to each other. I immediately felt my heart break and stayed up very late just shaking and half crying and feeling like an absolute idiot. After that, I started looking at things differently. Every time I was away, I just recorded it. And yes, most of the time I would go out of the house for a longer period, he would be there. I knew it was over at this point. I talked to a friend about the whole situation, she helped me put things in perspective a bit. But she also urged me to check on her phone, since she was constantly on it. I didn't want to at first, and she also keeps her phone very close all the time, so I didn't do it. At a certain point she comes home with a new phone, hers was not that old but indeed a bit broken. She didn't buy an expensive one, but normally she is very cautious about those amounts. So I was a bit surprised, that out of the blue without telling me, she just bought a new phone. Knowing that normally I buy a phone on my private freelancer company, it would have been cheaper, she would have gotten it for free. So I found that very suspicious. But then I realized, her old phone was still around. Maybe I could look around in that one. Since WhatsApp was already transferred, I couldn't read what they were talking about recently. I did find other messages from when they first met, they were normal from a friend. But after a couple of months they were filled with more kisses and suggestive messages. And then I found the picture she took when she was at the amusement park, and yes, they took a picture together. She was not there with her girlfriend and kid, she was there with him. I looked further and they had shared more pictures. A moment later I figured out I could check her location history with Google Maps. And darn me, I checked it with all the notes I took. She was never with those friends she mentioned, she was with him. Even worse, she was going to a hotel during the day for over months. I couldn't believe they were doing that. And it has been going on since this summer, way longer than I even had my hunches. Exclamation mark. I feel like such an idiot. I'm getting sick thinking of it. How she and him lied to me in my face for so long. Fuck. We had some tough moments together. And especially building a house together was very hard on both of us. But I didn't know it was this bad. She made the choice and did not work on it. While I was still trying, and looking like a fool in doing so. So yes, it is over. And boy have I thought about some mean things to do. Throwing her out on the street, changing the locks, slashing his tires, throwing all the evidence in the faces of our friends. And fuck, I have cried so many times, never felt so lonely in my life. Now, why am I still living with her? I am not a confrontational person and I'm just scared. I also wanted to check if there's a possibility of me taking over the house, since I like living here. So I made some financial preparations and checked with the bank. I know I have to tell her. I know we had some rough times together. I don't want drama or making a scene, that is not me. But I need to have a talk with her. I've already chosen a moment, I took a week off so that I don't have to stay at home working in any case. I will tell my parents beforehand, I need their support and want to be honest with them. But now I need some courage and advice. How do I deal with it? Any words and sentences that might help? Do's and don'ts? Thank you very much. Here are some of the best comments from our community. There are 2 responses cheaters give and it never deviates. Hyperventilating, sobbing and pity party about how awful they are and begging you to forgive them is the lie on the floor with boogers coming out of their nose. Telling you that you were a neglectful partner and had to do it even though it's 50x harder to cheat than just say I need more attention and then your connection is dead even though they neglected it. I am so sorry that you are going through this. You need to let his wife know ASAP so she can make the decision on what she wants to do. And just tell her that it's over. It sucks that you guys have a home together, but the home can be sold or one of you can buy the other one out. At least you have a clean break. His poor wife is stuck being around that loser for the rest of her life. Before you do anything, call a lawyer. Do everything they tell you to do. Do not confront them before they give you the go-ahead. Scan all important documents and make backups outside of the home. Take all heirlooms that are just yours out of the house. Schedule an STD test and make up excuses why you're not having sex with her. And please don't have sex with her. Make backups of your recordings and her data and put those where she can't get to them, either. Tell your lawyer about them. When you confront, don't get angry. Don't have a conversation with her. Don't justify anything, just say that you know, give her your lawyer's number and tell her all communication goes through them from now on. And ask her to leave the house, and if she won't, at least the bedroom. Then just go silent on her except for discussing your kids if you have them. You will never get the answers you're looking for from her. You will only get more pain and lies. Ask her to leave, but don't try to force anything other than an eviction process if she refuses because she has tenant rights. Illegally evicting her could end up with OP financing several months of rent or a hotel stay if she decides to pursue it. And if she does that, her lawyer might find that she should have some of the equity of the house, if she's been helping with the mortgage or renovations and has the paper trail to prove it, though OP's lawyer will be able to give him better info about this angle. The nuclear option can catch OP in its blast wave. He should secure his things that he doesn't want them going through, and take pictures of the house if he's worried about damage. If he kicks her out of his room, he can add a camera to record if she goes in. Cameras in common areas might be okay, too, if she's informed about them and thus doesn't have an expectation of privacy, though ask that lawyer about this. Also ask the lawyer about those recordings. Odds are they aren't legal regardless of whether OP is in a single-party jurisdiction, because OP wasn't a party to what he recorded at all. Give his wife everything you have. Get your finances in order. Do not let her gaslight you. You could also get a camera installed, get them recorded. You won't have to say anything to her, just show her. Then have a bag packed with her things and tell her to get out. You can figure out how to buy her out of the house later. Once again, tell his wife. Give her all the evidence you have. Stay strong, she will try to justify herself most likely. She is in the wrong. I don't know your relationship, but cheating on a partner and in your own home, it's a show of such bad character. I hope you get out of this soon and can begin to heal from it. Good luck. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for any future cheating stories.